Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the first fight tonight here on Access TV. And this fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the RFA bantamweight division and brought to you by BulgeClothing.com. Make an impression. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This striker, wrestler, stands 5'9", weighing in at 135.8 pounds, holding a professional mixed martial arts record, 3 wins, 0 losses. Training out of Extreme Couture and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Busted Boom Boom Salmon. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner. This wrestler stands 5'7", weighing in at 135.8 pounds, holding a professional mixed martial arts record, 3 wins, 3 losses. Training at a Grudge Training Center and fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Danny freaking Mainus. Your referee in charge of the action is Tim Mills.
Okay, gentlemen, I instructed you guys earlier this evening. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Let's fight.
Look at the look of intensity on Mainus. He knows this is a huge opportunity to blemish the perfect record of Salmon.
Be a huge win for him, Mike.
It would indeed, the biggest of his career. The question is, can Salmon get inside Mainus and work those body blows, or can Mainus get Salmon down to the canvas? Southpaw stance on Boston Salmon. Mainus has got to be careful of the liver kick. Danny said he's not afraid to stand and trade with Salmon, but you know the first opportunity Mainus gets, he'll shoot in on Salmon and try and get him down.
At least get him into an exchange, get Salmon to counterpunch back, and then get in clean for a takedown. Get to work right away, try and get the finish. Do not let him back up.
Salmon will want to control center cage here, force Mainus to the outside. Good left roundhouse kick there from Salmon. This is not where Mainus wants to be, but we'll see how long it lasts on the feet here with Salmon. Mainus is most comfortable on the ground.
Moving pretty well, though. Getting out of the way of most of the stuff that Salmon's throwing.
Jab 2 from Mainus. Salmon countered quickly. Got a deceptively fast jab as Boston Salmon usually uses it to set up that sweet left hand, the cross of the southpaw. Smart fight so far, though, from Mainus.
Salmon completely dominating the center of the cage here. Not a good place for Mainus to be. Oh.
Right hand counter, that being the lead hand of Salmon. Mainus needs to loosen up a little here. High right round kick from Mainus. Salmon faking with the cross, still controlling center octagon here. Big body shot from Salmon. Mainus gets under it. So many times we've seen Mainus fight. As he throws an overhand right, we know, Pat, that Mainus can take a pounding and come back.
Yes, it can.
Front kick there from Salmon. He's a durable fighter, Danny Mainus. We saw it in the fight against Chavez. We saw it last time out. Approaching the halfway mark of the opening round. Oh, right hand, then a double overhand there off the lead hand from Salmon. Mainus a little too quick.
Lucky that caught him on the neck with the forearm instead of the fist to the jaw. Very close.
Mainus yet to shoot in on Salmon.
Danny needs to throw right when Salmon starts to throw. Needs to move his head, throw, land something while Salmon's coming in, then transition to the takedowns.
Wide stance here on Boston Salmon. You figure that Salmon would be right for the shot from Mainus. There's the liver kick from Salmon. And Mainus just grimaced a little and circled off right. Got to see that jab coming, try and counter off it as Mainus. High right roundhouse from him. Salmon just backs out of range. Spinning hook kick from Mainus.
Salmon's gone every time he attacks. That's why I was saying he needs to go at the exact same time Salmon goes.
Interesting to see Mainus getting a little acrobatic with his spinning hook kick, something that opponents don't usually do against Boston Salmon. Jab from Mainus.
Salmon with that nasty right hook. Mainus has to be careful while he's circling to his left into that hook.
High left roundhouse tries to take Mainus's head off. Mainus is circling clockwise into the lead hand of the southpaw. And still you see Boston Salmon controlling centre cage. Right hand lead there from Mainus. Under a minute remains here in the first round of 3. Salmon did predict he'd finish Mainus in the first round. Mainus said, I'm planning to go all 3, drag him into deep water.
Yeah, because Salmon has not been into the 3rd round before. Mainus wants to take him there, take him into the deep water, try and wear him out.
You're saying Paddy wants to take a Salmon into deep water?
Yes.
Still controlling centre cage here, Salmon. Mainus on the outside. So far, so good for Mainus.
That last combo by Salmon made Mainus look like he was in a popcorn maker popping around.
Right hand lead from Mainus. Just circling again into that lead hand, and you've got to figure that Salmon is maybe predicting that Danny's going one way here. Looking to cut off the movement here of Mainus. And he survives the first round with Salmon, but we didn't see Salmon get out of first gear, Pat. And that's what Danny Mainus is looking to do here tonight. Second round. Oh, step across outside thigh kick. Nicely done from Danny Mainus to open up the round. Inside thigh kick. But we still haven't seen him attempt to take Salmon down here, Pat.
Well, I think he's trying to be patient. Trying to set it up, make Salmon think that he's going to be in a boxing match the whole time, and eventually secure that takedown. Probably smart, considering he survived that first round pretty well. Didn't win the round, but didn't take a lot of damage either.
High roundhouse kick there. Danny looking good early on here in the second round. Salmon did say yesterday he has enormous respect for Mainus as one of his better quality opponents, and it's showing here so far. Certainly no easy pickings. Again, you see the clockwise circling of Danny Mainus, and you see Salmon trying to cut off the cage. There's a nice hook off that right hand from the southpaw.
He got clipped clean, showed a good jaw. And you have to consider Salmon a dangerous guy for anybody. At 3-0, though, has not amassed a really super impressive record yet. So a lot of guys don't want to run the risk of losing to a person who's only, got 3 professional fights, but who has the power to knock you out. So, fighting a guy like Danny, Mainus is 3-3, 500 record. Big win for him. He'll take the chance.
Quick hands again of Boston Salmon prevailing. This is probably the longest we've ever seen Mainus standing in a fight. Usually his fights end up on the ground pretty quickly and they tend to stay there. He's very much a grinder, Mainus.
Yes.
Launching that right hand down the center corridor, and Salmon saw it coming. Hook, left hand, good jab from Mainus. Left roundhouse from Salmon, still looking to cut off the octagon here.
He's mirroring him. He's not cutting it off. He needs to step outside that lead foot and shut him down and make him move into his left hand instead of his right.
2-punch combination from Danny coming forward. Boston just backed out of trouble. But as Pat said, Salmon does need to step to his right and cut off Mainus.
As experienced a striker as Salmon is, I'm surprised he's not stepping outside of that leg when he throws that cross. Usually his foot's inside of Danny's foot, which then you're punching across your body a little too much and you lose a lot of the power.
High left roundhouse from Salmon. It's one of his most effective weapons, the headache maker. Oh, nice right hand to the jaw of Mainus.
Danny took it like a champ.
He did. He said he could always take a beating, Danny, and he'll find a way to come back. Just something he said that Salmon's opponents have never done before. And now Mainus goes to ground. This is where Mainus wants to be, Pat.
Good job dragging Salmon down off the cage also, so he couldn't wall walk. Got to pass, get to half guard. You can control a lot better from there.
How will Danny sit inside a half guard? Will he try and pass to the right side of the body of Boston Salmon? Don't forget, Mainus coming off a first-round submission armbar win over Ian Collinelli last time out.
Mainus needs to push on that knee, step over, get to half guard, put the clamps down on Salmon and get to work and start working to better his position, either cross sides or just start beating on him, throwing elbows from half guard. Make the striker's muscles turn into grappler's muscles and wear him out.
Is Salmon going to find a way back to his feet? Indeed he does. And Mainus didn't quite have the time on the ground that he wanted. Nonetheless, though, handling himself well in the stand-up with Salmon so far. Under a minute to go here in the second of 3, first round on Pat's scorecard was a 10-9er for Boston Salmon. There have been better signs from Mainus here in the second round. Step across outside thigh kick from here.
Got to consider the longer you're on your feet with Salmon, the longer you're playing Russian roulette.
Salmon's jab is superb, but his hook is brilliant. And it's fast, it's accurate.
And once he makes contact, he's great at following up with more strikes. When he touches somebody, he knows to follow up.
Long shooting from Mainus, looking for the double leg. To no avail, however, hacking elbow from Salmon.
Need to switch off to a single here, start moving him off the cage.
Elbow to the side of the head from Salmon.
Where you just cannot hang out there forever. Gives your opponent a lot of chances to do abuse.
We go to the towels, Mainus, and may yet have a surprise or two for Boston Salmon. Most opponents Salmon has faced have been finished by this time, Pat.
Absolutely, and Salmon's corner told him, look, you're waiting for the perfect shot. Quit waiting, step in and score and create your openings, which is what he should be doing. Robert Follis right on target with that. Mainus' corner telling him, you got to get after this guy. Got to open up this round.
This is what Danny Mainus wanted. He wanted Salmon in deep water, and he's got it.
Now he's got to apply the pressure.
Inside leg from Salmon. Front kick, counter by Mainus. Double jab, Mainus. Still circling off to his left into the lead hand of the southpaw where he wants to be. Mainus wants to get his lead foot on the outside of Boston's lead foot to enable that right hand down the center corridor. Public enemy number 1 of the southpaw.
In the 3 fights we've seen Boston Salmon, his accuracy has been superb. Not so much in this fight. Mainus moving a little bit awkwardly for him, throwing him off.
Well, Mainus' movement has been superb here. He's moved more than any of Salmon's previous opponents. And Salmon is unable to cut off the cage effectively to go on the inside of Mainus and land those salvos, land those quick combinations.
Well, he's just going to step hard to his right. He has to cut him off. He's not doing that.
Nice left cross there from Salmon. Oh, there's that succulent hook again of Boston Salmon. Curls the knuckles in nicely. Mainus comes forward. Eats a short right on his way in. Ducking the head down dangerously, Mainus.
He changed level for the takedown, but didn't step forward on it.
And there's the kick to the lip you've got to be careful of. Salmon does it so well. There's the cross down the tube. You feel Salmon is stepping up another gear now. And Mainus is taking punishment. Oh, he's hurt.
Punch glanced off his arm into the groin.
Mainus doubled over in pain here. The groin shot accidental. We'll try and take a replay of it. Have a look exactly what happened.
Yeah, Mainus bent over and the punch glanced off his forearm and slid down into the groin.
But at the moment, Mainus in a very sore state. Big scooping bolo punch. Oh, and he punched him in the nads, Pat.
The arm took a lot of heat off of it, though.
Mainus still grimacing here, still in pain, trying to shake out the old John Smalls and get back in this fight. Big bolo punch there from Boston Salmon. some time to recover. Officially, you can have as much as 5 minutes to recover. Don't know if Mainus will need all that time. Previously to that, there was a beautiful liver shot here from Salmon.
Yeah, he got in clean on that, and he drops his elbow there. So you know it hurt him a little bit. How much, we're not sure. Could he be catching his breath from the liver shot? Possibly.
Either way, whether it's the pain of the groin strike to Mainus or the respite from the liver shot that he's being granted by this break, we'll see what Mainus comes out with. Certainly has taken Boston Salmon to a place that a lot of opponents haven't taken Salmon to before, deep into the third round. And you know that while Mainus is recovering here, he's also thinking, he's also strategizing, because time now becomes the enemy of Danny Mainus.
Yeah, he's definitely thinking about how am I going to get in, how am I going to get a takedown, how am I going to get a submission. Got to commit on the punches. Have to punch your way in, no matter what it is.
Can Mainus avoid the jabs of Boston Salmon? Avoid the hooks. That lead hand of Salmon has worked a treat as always. Mainus tries to fire up the crowd. He's a Denver fighter, Mainus. Got the crowd behind him here tonight, and he'll need them. Referee asks Danny if he's okay to go on. Salmon just extends an apologetic arm across the cage, and we're back underway. Let's see if Danny can throw the right hand down the tube here.
Salmon feinting the uppercut, the rear uppercut. So Mainus thinks about that takedown attempt.
Good right from Mainus. Oh, stinging punch to Mainus, and a high knee.
Caught him perfectly coming in.
Salmon sprawls out, Mainus trying to get a hold of a leg. Salmon back to his feet, and that was the explosiveness we've come to know Boston Salmon for.
Yeah, he took some punishment to get in, but Mainus now where he wants to be. Got to finish this takedown. Does he know his name right now? Does he know what cities he's in? That's the question.
Mainus still shaking out the butterflies from those pulverizing hands of Boston Salmon. Overhook on the left arm of Mainus. What can Danny do from here, Pat?
Well, Danny's got to drop down to a single, most likely, to be honest with you, or step in front of him, trip him forward, or block the leg and take him backwards. One or the other, but he's got to get to work. Can't just hang out and hold on. The referee's gonna break him. Salmon's back where he wants to be striking.
Knee from Mainus. And again, look at that inside thigh, trying to cork it up.
Needs to get his hips in tight.
Little elbow there from Salmon. Mainus with another knee to the inside thigh. Time a big factor here, under 1:10 remaining, third and final. Mainus down 2 rounds to goose egg here on Pat's scorecard. Good knee again to the inside thigh, but Mainus needs to do more than that.
With only a minute left, he's got to finish.
Turn hard when he throws that knee. Let's go, let's make it happen.
What an upset it would be if Mainus could find a way to win.
Come on, let's make a fight now.
It does not look likely at the moment. Referee gives him a slap and a tickle and breaks him. Boston Salmon swinging wildly. Now is Mainus' time to go. He's got to throw caution to the wind now. Tries to shoot in for a single, but to no avail. 15 seconds on the clock.
Salmon has good takedown defense.
Mainus has moved a lot in this fight. Has Mainus got one big shot left? High knee from Salmon. Mainus on the back foot. What a fight. Great sportsmanship here. Boston Salmon and Danny Mainus have gone 3 rounds. Mainus did what he said he wanted to do. A 15-minute war with Boston Salmon.
Salmon never really did have to get out of second gear, to be honest with you. Was able to stay on the outside most of the fight, use his boxing, pick his times to strike, times to fight. Never got pushed to the brink like Mainus wanted to take it. Boston landing that nice hook, wobbling Mainus. And then the knee, timing that takedown attempt. Great timing.
Got to give credit, though, as we said, to the jaw of Danny Mainus, because Mainus was on rubber legs, and he survived the onslaught of Boston Salmon. Something that, well, no opponent thus far has done, Pat.
No, Danny did a great job. Stayed on his bike, moved when he had to. Did his best to get some takedowns. Got one or two, but was not able to keep him there and finish. I think
30-27, says Pat Miletich. All 3 rounds for Boston Salmon. But a brave effort from Mainus nonetheless.
It's the kind of fight that Salmon needed, to be honest with you. Go all 3 rounds. Get some time in the cage. Not go out and finish somebody quick.
Huge crowd on hand here tonight inside the First Bank Center in Broomfield, Colorado. RFA26 is alive and happening. Folks, don't forget to join us on Twitter at Access TV Fights, at Chevello Voice, at Pat Miletich. Let us know your thoughts on this man, Boston Salmon. Is he going to go 4-0 in a few moments' time? And of course, on this man, Danny Mainus. Looked in good shape here tonight, Mainus. And this, as Pat says, was a test at this stage of his career that Boston needed. And we think he came out with flying colours, Pat.
Helps prepare him for later on.
Boston saying, there you go, 3 rounds for you. Funnily, there was a story on MMA Junkie today where fans were coming up to Salmon yesterday asking him to take the fight 3 rounds, and I think that he just obliged those many fans. Let's go to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of MMA, we go to the judges' scorecard, and the judges score the bout 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Boston Boom Boom Salmon.
Well, Mainus is disappointed, but Boston Salmon does take it. 6-2 versus 12-2. Mercado 1 year the elder. Both men stand 5'6". Mercado with the weight that loses the reach in the arms, has it in the legs. Mercado bounds out of his corner in his southpaw stance. Left cross down the centre early on from shutout Mercado. Frazatto said that if the fight goes to ground, he promises he'll sub Mercado out. Uppercut from Mercado, should have thrown the left hand for company.
Yes, sir.
Left hand there, misses the target, just falls short. Outside thigh kick doesn't. Good work from Mercado.
Mercado doing a good job of being a leadoff fighter so far.
Roundhouse kick to the left rib cage from Frazatto. Overhand left there from Mercado. Nice uppercut, snuck it in off the right hand pad.
Closed his eye for a second there. Glued it to his eyeball.
Tried for a second bite at the cherry to no avail. They clinch up now. Frazatto throws him off.
Good job shutting down the positioning.
Nice left hand lead there from Mercado. Looking much sharper in the striking here, Mercado.
Frazatto is open to the uppercuts. Every time a straight punch comes, he tilts his head down. That striking surface of the face then changes angle. Perfect for the uppercut.
Counter there from Frazatto off the lead hand. Needs to start working that right hand against the southpaw. There's a nice counter, popping jab. Mercado moving well here in the opening round. 3 minutes to go.
Fakes the takedown.
Overhand left. Mercado looking confident on his feet.
Starting to get clipped with counters now. Mercado got to move his head when he's done throwing.
Overhand right from Frazatto. Mercado just shrugs him off. Tries to go for the overhand elbow on that occasion, Mercado. Looping punches from Frazatto. Mercado gets out of danger.
Right hand landed a couple times though.
Front kick from Frazatto. Outside leg kick from Jared. Nice lead hand. High right roundhouse. Mercado saw it coming. Drifts back to center octagon.
Good defense so far.
Uppercut, a beauty.
Every time that Mercado was followed up with secondary punches, he lands them.
Mercado maybe looking for a takedown here. Double leg, pressing Frazatto against the cage.
Got the hands locked. Right at the hips right now. Frazatto doing a good job with that left hand inside there. Wrist control, beautiful job.
Nice overhook on that left arm from Frazatto. Has Mercado back against the cage. Knee guard from Mercado. Referee just saying to Frazatto, get your fingers out of the wire. Knee, nicely done from the Brazilian. Mercado breaks off, both men drift back to center cage and they reset. 1 minute remains in this first round. Mercado goes down the tube and then a hook. Overhand left to another right hook.
Got clipped with a hook coming in that time though.
Overhand left again from Mercado, the southpaw. High left roundhouse.
Tried feinting the cross to the round kick.
Outside leg kick just above the knee. Looks for a double Mercado, couldn't find it. Good knee from Frazatto. Mercado turns him.
Frazatto shutting the takedowns down so far.
Knee to the inside thigh from Mercado, Pat.
See Mercado hanging heavy on Frazatto's right arm. It wears out the shoulder. Don't let him get that underhook deep and lift it. That's wrestling experience paying off right there.
Round one down, we go to the tags.
Corner there, listening to him closely. They told him lead with the cross and then follow up and change levels after you're done, meaning move your head and get the heck out of the way of that counter hook.
Frazatto setting the right hand. He chose to loop it instead of a straight line. Roundhouse kick to the guts there. Mercado's got that style of stand-up that can be very frustrating. Corner of Mercado barking for him to punch and go. Takes a nice jab from Frazatto.
Yeah, basically, when you throw that cross, just keep your right hand tight. Let the counter hook hit your arm and then follow their arm back to their jaw. They'll help you find their chin every time if you do that.
Look how high the right arm is here of Frazatto.
Paying attention to defense.
Double leg here from Mercado.
Nice job by Frazatto. Beautiful. Look at Jerry Mercado trying to block him from coming around. Didn't work.
Frazatto did promise that if it went to ground, he'd sub Mercado. He's going to look to sick a rear naked choke here.
Now Mercado's got a no-gi world champ on his back. You can see Frazatto crossing his feet there, staying glued to the hip. Nice and tight. Figure four transition.
Troubled times here for Jared. Mercado is at the beginning of the end. No, Mercado survives. The first sub attempt from Frazatto. Still with a figure 4 around the body. Tries to reset the choke here, Frazatto.
Frazatto digging for that choke. Mercado trying to keep hand control here.
Figure 4 still locked on tight. The full weight of Frazatto on the back of Mercado. This may be it.
That looked like he got it in tight.
Frazatto locks out moisture, seals in freshness. Good night, Irene. He promised and he delivered. Devastating for Mercado.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert, world champion. Shutting down an American wrestler. Takedown attempt by Mercado. See Mercado with that arm trying to block him from coming around. Doesn't work. Able to go right through the arm, get the leg in anyway. Beautiful transition. Crosses the legs, keeps you tight to the hip. Staying glued to him, and then eventually rolled him. Mercado basically climbing toward the cage. See the figure 4 on the body, squeezing tight, finally getting that choke in after the third attempt. Mercado, no fighting the hands on that one. Should have been reaching for the hand instead of preparing his hand to tap, but is what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Adam Martinez calls a stop to the fight at 2 minutes, 28 seconds into the second round for your winner. By tap out due to rear naked choke, Bruno Frazatto.
A beautiful submission win for Bruno.